Yeah.
Power Rangers Turbo has a bomb theme song. The theme song is amazing. Shift into turbo. It went hard. Mighty engines roar, turbo time. Go the power in the turbo. Yeah, that theme song went hard. Yeah, definitely went hard.
Let's go Ranger Ravers. Don't you love the Ranger Ravers?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ranger Ravers. It's your boy Carlton.
It's your boy Kev.
Yeah, Kev is back for another episode 2. All right. So how you feeling being in front of the camera? So from the first episode, because you watched yourself, how are you feeling about being in front of the camera now?
Still a little nervous, but we're getting there.
I think you're doing good.
Hey, gotta stop moving my lips so much.
You know, that's the thing. Like, you'll watch different things, because I say a lot. So I'll go back and listen and watch. I'm like, definitely saying a lot. So I know that's one thing I definitely have to work on. So it's just a thing. You just keep doing it, and then you get better with practice.
Yeah. All right, we'll see.
All right. So in this episode of Ranger Ravers, we're gonna talk about Power Rangers Turbo. I just did it again. I watched Turbo before I did watching all of it in space. I was like, let me go back and watch Turbo, because I told you I stopped, and when it first came out, I stopped watching Turbo like towards the beginning.
Yeah.
So I missed the whole when they switched Rangers and all that other stuff. I didn't know about all that till after the fact. So I actually went back and I watched all of Power Rangers Turbo, and we're definitely gonna get into it. I want to do a disclaimer though. Okay.
All right.
We are talking about the characters and the story. We are not talking about the actors. So we are not critiquing the acting. We are talking specifically about the characters and the storyline. We may throw in some behind the scenes stuff in there too, stuff that I do know.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there, because I want people to say, "Oh, you talking about the Rangers?" No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're specifically talking about the characters and the storyline.
Yeah.
So I had to definitely preface that before I get into this.
Yeah. Don't worry. We was talking about the character. They would know which one it is.
Okay, so let's start. We're gonna start with the Turbo movie. So this season of Turbo actually started off with the movie, which is the second movie in the franchise. So we had the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, which is not canon to the series, but we have Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, which is canon to the series.
Thank God they did it like that.
Now, I will say that's the one good thing I did enjoy about Turbo, is that it was connected to the series. I thought, to me, it was weird that the first movie didn't have any connection to the show, because it was like, and again, we'll get into it when we start talking about Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Like, you went from, you had the Thunder Megazords with Lord Zed and Rita, and then we got to the movie, and then the powers got messed up because Iva Ooze, destroyed the command center, and then they did they went to the island to get the ninja stuff.
Went from the fine lady to ninja.
So here you go. And so we had that, and so then we come back to the series. They're back into the Thunder Megazords again. So the new season started with Thunder Megazords. Then they introduced Rito, and then Rito destroyed, and then they went and met Ninjor, and then that's how they got the power. So it was like, again, it's like there's no, again, it's not canon.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about what they did right about Turbo was they made Turbo movie canon to the series, because once the movie ended, when the new season started, we picked right back up where the movie ended, which is great.
Yes.
So we do like that. So with Turbo the movie, so we're introduced to Divatox.
Yes.
She's getting married to, I don't remember the villain's name, but this is a different villain. Even though the villain looks exactly the same as Dark Spectre in space.
Yeah.
It's the exact same look, but it's the totally different villain.
Oh.
And I cannot think of the name right now.
Maybe that was his brother or cousin or something like that.
You know how they do. how we do as a creators. We have to be like, okay, it's gonna be a secret twin or something.
Yeah.
So she's getting married to him, and they want to offer a sacrifice for the wedding gift, to the bad person or whatever.
Yeah.
So back to the Rangers. So Rocky, Adam, and Tommy are training for this tournament.
Yeah.
Rocky does this flip, kick, whatever, and then he injures his back. And Rocky, at this point, is no longer able to be a Power Ranger.
Yeah. Boy, what a way to go.
Out of all the flips and kicks they'd done, he did that one thing, and that put him out. That just completely put him out.
I mean, how many times that man landed on his back as a Ranger?
That's what I'm saying.
Falling from the Zords and stuff.
Right. So he's out of there, and then they get called to the command center because they got to rescue. There's a creature. Don't know the creature's name.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. We're doing a bad job with this review, not knowing these names. There's a creature that's basically that's what they did. They wanted to get the creature and because he has some type of mystical powers or something. Going on.
One of Zordon's friends.
Yeah, one of Zordon's friends. Yeah. Right. Him and his wife and the baby.
Yeah.
They had all that going on.
Yeah.
So they wanted to capture him to for all that purpose.
Yeah.
That's how Kimberly and Jason got captured because they was scuba diving.
Yeah.
And then they got captured as well.
Yeah.
So all that's gonna come into play. So the Zordon calls them. They say, "Hey, you got to rescue our friends." And then the one time we did, because at this point they still have the Zeo powers.
Yeah.
The one time we saw Zeo, it was real quick. Catherine was falling, and she did Zeo Ranger 1 pink, and it was real quick. And then when she got to the water, it was gone.
Knocked her out of the suit, and that was it.
And I was like,
nothing to explain.
There was no explanation.
Yeah.
Now, this is where we get to the behind the scenes stuff because I did ask about that. I had the opportunity to interview Catherine and Nakia a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And
I did ask about Zeo, because originally, and we'll get into this again when we talk about Zeo, but there was supposed to be a Zeo movie.
Oh, okay.
There was supposed to be,
all right,
allegedly, and so, but however, because we didn't get that. They were supposed to. There was in the script. There was an explanation of how they went from Zeo to Turbo.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole thing. But apparently the script in the movie was way too long, so they cut all the Zeo stuff out.
Yes, I saw the key on your page. That there was supposed to be a Zeo movie. So what happened?
Well, Kat can explain that, but as when she goes into explaining it, something that I just learned that was not in my contract was the Zeo movie. So I didn't learn about the Zeo movie until we had the triplets on our show, Kat, Power Rangers Playback. So part of the Zeo cast, we had the Gold Ranger, which were actually triplets. People thought it was one person that they just duplicated, but it was actual triplets. And when we were interviewing them, they told us that Saban had written in their contract a Zeo movie, and we were supposed to do a Zeo movie, but then they ended up getting cold feet about this role and deciding that they were going to do something else, and they completely regret what they've done, but they ended up leaving the show. And then the Zeo movie kind of fell to pieces, but I knew nothing about a Zeo movie. But Kat, please share what you know.
When I was cast, I had 2 movies and the show was in my contract, and it was going to be a Zeo movie, but then they changed it all up, and we started doing the Turbo movie. So we knew we were going to be doing a movie when we were filming Zeo, but we didn't know it was going to be a totally different suit and everything. That was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of things in the Turbo movie that were not explained because they cut a lot of things out of it, obviously, because it was like a 3 or 3.5 hour movie or something like that. But there was, everyone always asks me the question, like, wait a second, you're supposed to be stronger than before, but you morphed into the water and you didn't morph, and it stopped your morphing. And I'm like, well, they explained that in the original script, where Tanya and Adam go into the water through the tubes in the power chamber, and there's a mermaid that's leading them on a quest, and then something happens with the crystals under the water, and they come out, and they had like shredded suits, like it had like destroyed, almost killed them or something like that. And they cut that whole thing out. It was there was so many things. There's a scene on the box where I have the flamethrower. and that was supposed to be this giant alligators coming out of the water to eat us, and I kill it with the flamethrower. They cut all that out. It's going to cost too much money.
Well, thank you for explaining that, because I'm going to say, as the viewer,
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
A lot of that was cut out was also because they fired the original director 6 weeks in. So most of the things that he had filmed, which were really, really good, intimate things you get to learn about our character, they cut out of the movie. And so it became like
choppy.
Jumpy. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, wow. I'm learning a lot of things today. So thank you.
They could have added it in.
So that's why we didn't really get an explanation as far as when it comes to Zeo. And so that's why we just jumped from Zeo and then went straight to Turbo.
They could have added it in there.
So yeah, but
at that time they was doing like 2-hour movies and stuff like that. Come on.
I just feel like that was horrible. I think because Zeo is, the theme song is stronger than before.
Yes.
So this supposed to be supposed to be like supposed to be the it powers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then we go from that to automatically got these turbos, and it's like, who designed the turbo? I mean, it's like, I guess Alpha was like, yeah, we made these turbos for you. It was like what?
Yeah, like why did we need a new power?
Right. Yeah, I didn't understand why we necessarily needed a new power.
Yeah. There's no type of explanation in it. So yeah, they did a poor job.
Yeah, that transition was not good. Going from Zeo to Turbo, transition was not good. Yeah. I will say, what I did like, I like that they had names. Like, you know, with Zeo, it was just Zeo Ranger 1, Pink, 0 and 2. It was, I feel like that was kind of basic. Yeah. I did like with Turbo that they had names. Like, was it Mountain Climber or Thunder Blaster or something like that? These names, I'm saying the names all wrong, but it was something like that. They had the names. Mm-hmm. I did like that. So back to the story. So then, of course, Rocky's out of commission. So when they transform to go to the command center, apparently Justin, which is the new character, he's a part of the youth group. He's under the bed the whole time, listening to this whole conversation. So he now knows that they are Power Rangers. Yeah. And so then he comes out, and then Rocky, I guess, tells them that, hey, yeah, he confirms that they are Power Rangers. Oh. And so all of a sudden now, Justin's now part of the team.
Yeah. Oh, I guess all you gotta do is just find out the Rangers and Zordar and give you a morpher to keep you quiet.
I guess, man. Oh man, yeah. We gotta talk about the Justin of it all.
Well, let me say.
Go ahead.
Before Justin came along, I was interested in like what happened if they chose like kids and they became a Power Ranger, like how they did Beetleborgs and all that stuff. I was kind of interested in that, so you know, it is what it is. But
realistically, I just don't see these 17, 18, because that's their characters supposed to be 17, 18 years old. Yeah, hanging out with this 13, 14-year-old.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all. I just feel like there's. We about to graduate, going to the real world here, and you just now about to get out of middle school.
Well, hold on, wasn't he supposed to be like? Didn't he skip grades or whatever?
He skipped grades in the series. He didn't skip grades in the movie. In the movie, he was still like in middle school. Yeah, he was still a little kid. Either way, even though he skipped grades, I mean, he's still a little kid. He might be mature in mind, but he's small in stature. He's still a kid. Yeah, I'm not hanging out with no kid. I don't care. This is not Smart Guy. Hey, this is not Smart Guy, bro.
It's probably like little brother, thing going on. Big brother, little brother stuff.
I have a little brother. We weren't hanging out like that. And when I was 18 years old, and Cameron is what? I mean, maybe 11 years younger than me. Maybe, I don't know, something like that.
I mean, look at Goonies.
Kevin. So if you were a Power Ranger, you telling me you gonna hang out with Justin?
I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Nah.
Okay, I found. So thank you
for me, no.
Thank you for taking the time. I found the names. So the Red Ranger was Red Lightning, and the blue was Mountain Blaster. Mm-hmm. Green was Desert Thunder. Yellow was Doomstar, and pink is Windchaser.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the names of what they were.
Yeah.
I just like that. Like I said, I like that because we were used to it. Like, it was like, you know, the first season we had Mastodon, Pterodactyl, da da da, and then no, they did go to colors because then the other season it was like Yellow Ranger power, and they did do that, didn't they? Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. So yeah. So we got so now they're on this. They're about to go rescue the friend. They got to go on this. They get on the boat, this ghost boat. Right.
Yeah.
And then they fight the ghost boat. So they do that, and then they go to the island. And so then we have the big battle, of course, to rescue. Because Kim and Jason, so they are going to be the sacrifices.
Yeah.
And so then they are being pulled down into the volcano.
Yeah.
And then they come back. They're evil. And then they had the fight scene with the Rangers.
Yeah. They went down into a volcano.
So I will say,
it didn't burn up.
I will say I enjoyed Evil Jason and Evil Kimberly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that 100%.
Yeah.
That was amazing to me. I in the way, like, because of course the Power Rangers, they're good. So like, we don't want to fight our friends. No. Y'all gotta fight them. They're evil, guys. You gotta fight them.
Yep. I mean, I enjoyed it too. But
yeah, I liked it.
I'm just mad, like, at the end, they didn't really have a conversation. Like, you know, they just, Jason and them, they were just like in a picture all together, just smiling at the end. Like there was really no type of conversation between them.
So we get to the end. Yeah, so we get to the end. Of course, so Jason and Kimberly are
mind you, this is the first time Tommy and Kimberly was in the same place since she sent that letter.
That is true. That is very true. You are making a very good point because yeah, we still ain't got over the fact that Kimberly sent that letter and broke up with Tommy like that.
She did what she said, like a brother?
She said, I love you like a brother or something like that. I was like, oh, okay.
How y'all went from dating to loving like a brother?
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
Wow.
That was wild. That was wild.
Yeah. Whoever wrote that script, shame on you.
I'm trying to find the friend name. The thing that so the evil person in this movie, his name is Malagor. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
did they explain why they look alike?
No, there was no explanation. And then the wizard that holds the magical key. Okay, so he holds the wizard holds the magical key that can open portals to worlds and realms. That is his name, Larago.
Yeah, I knew it was something with a gold.
Yeah, Larago.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Those are the names. And also Rita and Zed do make an appearance in this movie.
Yeah.
Divatox calls them, and it was real brief.
Yeah.
And I did not appreciate that. We definitely gonna get into how they really punked down Lord Zed. Lord Zed is the best villain in the entire Power Rangers franchise. Yeah. And the way they really punked him down, I do not appreciate it.
This Joker was like brawling and everything, and
I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it. So yeah, so they do make an appearance, and then because Divatox calls them, and Rita.
Once Rita did that spell on him, he just turned into a punk.
Yeah, I ain't like that.
Yeah,
I ain't like that. Okay, so back to the Turbo movie. So you make a very good point. Because at this point, Tommy and Catherine are together, and like you said, this is the first time we really see all of them in the same setting. You're right. There was no conversation. Like there was no really interaction of, like none of that. Like we really missed a lot.
Yeah, we just buddy and smiling and it goes off.
So do you think Kimberly and Jason were together, like they were dating, or you think they were just hanging out, just friends?
They were just hanging out.
Okay, there's a theory that Jason and Kimberly were together.
Well, until they actually say anything about it, they just friends.
That
speculation.
Yeah,
we got to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Okay. So yeah, the movie ends with that. So then after that, we shift into
Yeah.
So we shift into the season.
Hold on.
Yes.
First, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was digging Turbo for a little bit, but what I didn't understand is what did the driving and all that have to do with the bad guy? I mean, they was in the sea and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the cars have to do with the sea?
I don't know. I can't explain it to you.
Yeah, that's what kind of threw me off. Like, cause usually they try to stick to a theme over, like Zeo, robots or whatever. And I didn't get the cars and the boat.
Got you. I mean, I guess this is how they got. That's how they were able to get to the island. I guess
you would think they would have went with a pirate theme.
Well, there is a pirate theme season of Power Rangers.
I'm just saying for that. I mean, she was like, you talk was like what a pirate. Or
she was on something like that. Yeah, she definitely was like a pirate.
So yeah,
character.
You would think they would have went with that more than just cars or whatever. But hey, you know,
you're right. You make a good valid point.
Yeah,
very valid point. So we're into the series now, and now Tommy, Catherine, Tanya, and Adam, and Rocky, they graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Because Rocky does make a special appearance in the first 3 episodes of the season, and so they basically, how they tied into the movie, they basically was like telling Rocky everything that happened, and they showed clips from the movie. Yeah. And so now Diva Talks is the main villain, and she plants different detonators on each episode. So they have to try to find detonators before they go off. And so basically, and Tommy is into race car driving now.
Yeah.
Now,
Bulk and Skulls are.
Oh, you gotta talk about Bulk and Skull. Yeah. So Bulk and Skull. So basically, and that was another thing too. So Bulk and Skull, they actually were detectives in Zeo, I think, and then they ended up quitting.
Yeah.
And then now they're back into the police academy. It didn't make sense to me either. And so then they end up being turned into monkeys.
Yeah.
And now the behind the scenes story of that is Bulk and Skull actually going to be given a spinoff series. And so they were doing that. And so just to keep them involved in the series, they just went ahead and did that transformation and then used their voices for that. But of course, the spinoff didn't get picked up. So then that's why they ended up back on the series. And then Justin, this is when Justin is revealed to be a special gifted kid, and then he's become a high schooler.
Yeah.
And I think Catherine's a teacher, like a student teacher or something like that. Tanya's working in music, I believe.
Yeah. Maybe Zora had something to do with what's his name again? Justin becoming smart or something.
I don't know if Zordon had anything to do with that.
Let me keep him around the Rangers.
Yeah. So speaking of Zordon, so Zordon and Alpha actually leave.
Yeah.
They actually go back to their home planet, and then they bring in Demetria and Alpha 6. And we talked about Alpha 6 at length last time. We don't got to get into it, how they did this whole yo situation.
Yeah.
They could have left that where they got it.
Yeah, we didn't need it.
We definitely didn't need that. And so Demetria is there. And so the thing about Demetria is she asks questions. That's how she communicates. She asks questions to help you to figure it out on your own, I guess. So that's how she communicates. That's how she communicates with the Rangers, is that she asks questions. So, and that's important. I need to say that because there's a reason. There's a weird transition with that. Yeah. So it's pretty much Tommy's not really hanging with them like that. Yeah. And also behind the scenes, it was alleged that JDF was ready to leave the show.
Okay.
So you didn't really see a lot of Tommy too much. And so also too, we saw that they went back to they were actually fighting in human form a little bit more. Yeah. In Zeo, they were like automatically morph.
Yeah.
And Turbo, they actually did more fighting how they used to back in the day with the putties. You actually saw them more fighting in human, which honestly to me I think is more appealing, because what I enjoyed about Mighty Morphin is actually seeing them fight. And that's what made me want to really be a Power Ranger or really enjoy Power Rangers, because you actually see these these girls and boys, you see them fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I understand. You know, I mean, they were fighting robots, so you try to fight a robot barehanded.
Man, please. No,
I'm just saying.
Nah, they could have had no fighting. I mean, come on. No, they had to fight birds.
That's different.
Man.
That's skin and all that. This is robots.
Okay.
Go punch a robot with your bare hand.
Okay. If I'm a Power Ranger, I can punch a robot with my bare hand. It's no thing.
Yeah, when you got your suit on.
No. I mean, when you're doing martial arts, don't they hit wood? Don't they punch wood?
That's wood.
I feel like wood is harder than robots.
That's metal.
Splinters.
Hey, it's still metal.
Wood is splinters.
It's still metal.
I think wood hurts more than metal. I feel like. I'm just saying. If you can punch a board, you can punch a robot.
Alright.
Okay. So they go back to fighting Piranhatrons. So they're back. They're fighting them in human form more, which is awesome. I thought that was cool. So now we're gonna get into the transition.
Yes.
This is where it gets weird, right? So when I remember when I wasn't watching it regularly, but then I heard about they were switching Rangers. I thought in my head there was like we actually saw them throughout. We saw all 4 of the new Rangers throughout Turbo. Like we saw the
it was just on like what, 1 episode.
It was real quick. Like I know Ashley and Carlos, because Carlos was on the soccer team, Ashley was on the cheerleading team. So I know they were like on like a couple of episodes before they were given the power. Yeah. But Cassie and TJ was only on like literally those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And that was it. So there was really like the real connection was that they helped save time. Like they was helping Tommy and Catherine out with the fighting.
Yeah.
And that was it. But there was no real like connection.
Yeah.
You know, like when they transferred the power from Jason, Zach, and Trini. We all know what really happened. But Jason, Zach, and Trini to Aisha, Rocky, and Adam, they had they was throughout, and they actually had a relationship with the other Rangers.
Yeah, like
I feel like with these, it was just really random.
Yeah, like Tommy and them chose you just because you helped them out that one time.
Yeah, it just and the thing was like when they did the. Sorry, y'all. If y'all hear that is Poochie. I feel like I have to do this disclaimer every time I record a podcast. Poochie wants to bark, so I apologize in advance that is Poochie. So, allegedly, how they found out that they were being replaced or they were casting for new Rangers was through a newspaper article.
You have discussed, I guess, the departure when you guys did leave the show. Like, how was that for you guys? Because it was a very interesting way you guys found out that you guys were being replaced.
Yes. We found out Johnny brought a newspaper to the set, and we found out through that they were looking for new Rangers. So that was kind of humiliating and shocking and all of those things. But I in retrospect, I don't often look at life as regrets because I think you learn from everything that you experience. But in retrospect, I think it probably would have served the show better had they just had us finish the season and then started the new cast with In Space, because it was very hard for the fans to go. Like all of a sudden these new people were there and then we were ripped away and they were like, what just happened? And it wasn't fair to the fandom to do that. They'd done that with Walter and Twee and Austin. And so it was kind of disappointing for the fans that they did that. For us, it was hard. I mean, that was my family. They were my family from the moment I stepped foot on American soil. So it was really hard. I didn't know if I was going to see any of them again. And it was a very sad day. And the new cast were great. They really did a good job, and no hard feelings at all to them. They were wonderful, and they're friends of ours to this day. But I think it was a little bit of a disservice to the franchise, I think, when they did that.
So that's how they found out. That's the story. That's the story.
Disrespect.
So what do you have to say about that?
Yo, that was just straight disrespectful. And I want to go off on was it Saban film or production on instinct, whatever you want to call it. Then people made y'all Power Rangers a $1 billion industry over 20-something years. Well, Power Rangers came out, what, like 94?
93, 94, something like that.
I was probably like, what, 8 or 9 years old. Or probably 7. I'm about to be 38 this year. Power Rangers still going on. You mean tell me you couldn't up them people pay a little bit, give them a percentage of their merchandise or something, like just to satisfy them? Like, come on, man. Like, do they even get any royalty off of Netflix when they put this stuff on Netflix?
I don't know that information. That is above my pay grade and my knowledge.
Well, the way they did them before, they probably don't even give them nothing for that.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
well,
straight disrespectful, man. Like,
all right. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Yeah. Okay. I don't agree with that, man.
Okay. So, yes. So that is how they found out that they would be replaced. The story is they found out because through a newspaper article. So, we come to the transfer, and so we come to the transfer, and so Tommy gives his power to TJ. Mm-hmm. Catherine gives her power to Cassie.
First black Red Ranger leader.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
Adam gives his power to Carlos, and then Nakia. Tanya gives her power to Ashley.
Yeah.
And Justin is still there. Yeah. So Justin remains the Blue Ranger. And so that's the new power transfer. So now they can go on to live their lives, do what they're gonna do, and now these Rangers have picked up the mantle and they're gonna continue to fight Divatox and all that great stuff. Now
they left a young boy with a new group that he had to get to know over.
Yeah, but apparently his dad came back into the picture, and he with his dad.
I mean, no, that was like for space or whatever.
No, his dad was in Turbo too.
Oh yeah, that's right. But he stayed.
Later on,
he stayed because
that's why he stayed. He stayed because his dad, it was an episode. His dad was like he was gonna get a new job, and then Justin was really sad about that. But then he decided to stay, I guess, in Angel Grove.
Yeah.
So bring it back to Demetria. So this is where my confusion was. They never did an explanation of why she stopped asking questions. It was just one episode. She was talking normal, like she was talking to the Rangers normally. Like there was no questions, like because they'll say, Demetria, well, what do you think is going to happen? That's how she will respond to them. Yeah. But now all of a sudden she's just talking. She's like, Rangers, there's a problem in Angel Grove. Like she was talking normal. I was like, okay, so what is the explanation between her asking questions and her not talking normal? Here's another hole. So we're introduced to the Centurion officer, the police officer.
Oh yeah.
Was he the Centennial?
Something
I'm
like that.
saying it wrong. I'm jacking
Centurion, something like that.
Centurion. I gotta find it. Blue Centurion. Mm-hmm. The Blue Centurion. He's an intergalactic police officer from the future. So we're introduced to him, and then we're also introduced to the Phantom Ranger.
Yeah.
So those are the two. They always have a plus ranger.
I like the Phantom Ranger.
Okay, Phantom Ranger was cool, but here's the problem. Where did he come from, and what was his origin story? We never got it.
Yeah.
And allegedly, we were supposed to get that, and we just never got it.
Yeah.
We never got it. He just showed up. Cassie had a crush on him, and then...
Never saw the face.
And then never saw the face, but we never got an origin story of where he came from, why did he come, like, what's his purpose? Like, we never got that. We never got any of that. So that's another big hole. Now let's get into TJ being the first black Power Ranger. First black Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Which was, I got to interview him. You were there.
Yeah.
I got to ask him that question at one of the Ranger stops in Atlanta one year.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being the first black Red Ranger? Because that's like historic. And how do you feel like that impacted kids that watched you?
Very good question. Sorry, sir. That's awesome.
I think it's an amazing opportunity, and I think the impact I get, I get stories a lot, and I really appreciate it. And becoming the first black leader of the Power Rangers, what was interesting to me is there was really no press at all. Like I expected Jet Magazine or Ebony, somebody to be like, "Yo, we got a new, black superhero," right? But it never happened. So what's interesting is now I did the skit with Black Nerd that everybody knows, but literally that's what kind of put it on the map. So all that to say, you know, if you want something done, you might have to do it yourself. But it's a great honor, and I would say the impact of my life. I find myself sometimes trying to live a certain way, so I don't tarnish that, you know, after the fact. Like, I think it's kept me out of trouble as an adult, honestly. And, you know, I just hope to continue to be able to keep it that way.
So, like I said, that's pretty much a big deal. Because like I said, the Red Ranger is the leader of the group. So to be the first black Red Ranger is actually a pretty huge deal.
Yeah,
that really wasn't celebrated like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's 90s. You know?
Even now, it's not really like, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it should be. Yeah. That's pretty huge, actually.
Yeah, it is.
You know? We've had black Red Rangers since then, I believe. Yeah. But again, like, TJ is actually the first. Yeah. And again, like I said, even when we mentioned in our In Space episode, again, I feel like TJ is the heart of the group. And even when it went to In Space and Andros was the Red Ranger, I still feel like TJ was the heart of the group and still was that leader of the group, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to TJ. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other positive things that
I like the vehicles that TJ and Justin got.
Oh, the little side vehicles?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Zords, I will say the Zords, the Turbo Zords themselves, they were better than the Zeo, just because, again, I didn't like the fact that in Zeo, they were attached to each other, minus the red Zord.
Yeah.
But I did like that Turbos were, they were back to independence. But I just feel like it was really nothing special about the cars. It was just race cars.
Because, again, what did it play into? Because Divatox was like a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
So, it really didn't play into nothing.
So I have some more background information. So I talked to I call him the Resident Ranger Master, which is my coworker Mike. And he explained to me that the Sentai version, but the Japanese version that these Rangers based off of is actually a comedy. So the Sentai version of this is actually a comedy. So of course there were episodes that were real campy. Like the episode when they were baked into a pizza.
Stupid.
Like it was like I said, a lot of the elements that were in this season of Turbo of this season of Power Rangers was because the Sentai version is a comedy, so they was using those elements to go, that Japanese version to go into the English version.
When did Saban sell the Power Rangers?
I don't know that information. I don't know.
I think it was around. Was it around Turbo?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. So like I said, you saw that's the reason why a lot of things may seem silly. Yeah. Is because the Japanese version actually is a sitcom or a comedy. So that is that. So that's that background information on that. I'm trying to think was anything else significant. Okay, so we gotta talk about. So Divatox was actually the one that did destroy the command center. She destroyed the command center. She was successful in that, and she was able to really defeat the Power Rangers in that aspect. Now here's again another unrealistic. Go ahead.
Go ahead and sneeze for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was about to come out, but okay.
Okay. So another another unrealistic storyline that happened is we talked about this briefly with In Space. So Justin was able to talk to the commander of the Space Center because they were saying that they needed to, because Zordon, this is when Zordon had got kidnapped. They found out Zordon got kidnapped, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so they was like, we need to go rescue Zordon. We need to rescue Zordon. And Justin is able to talk, he sneaks into the Space Center and he's able to talk to the commander and let him know that the Power Rangers need to get to space.
Yeah.
And the commander is just like, okay, Justin, okay, little kid, I trust you. You said Zordon, and so yes, we're gonna let the Power Rangers go into space.
First of all, they don't even know who Zordon was. They know who the Rangers was, but I don't know who Zordon.
That's a hole. That's a plot hole.
Yeah.
Cause how would this commander know who Zordon is?
Well,
unless Zordon had a intergalactic conversation with this commander.
Exactly. Like we said last time, he probably hired him to build a face inside a spaceship or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a big old hole right there.
It's a lot of holes. It's a lot of holes.
Yeah.
And so then they end up going into Justin does not join them.
Yeah.
He decides to stay with his dad. And so we have Carlos, TJ, Cassie, and Ashley going into space, and then it ends with to be continued.
Yeah.
And then of course we go into the space season, which we already covered.
Yeah. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Didn't they switch Diva Talks?
They did. So what happened?
I like their.
So what happened was they the Diva Talks
from serious to being
the Diva Talks that so the Diva Talks from the movie. Okay, so you have the Diva Talks from the movie, right? She was pregnant while they was filming the series, so they had a different Diva. So the Diva Talks in the series was also Demetria, so she was playing 2 roles. And then the Diva Talks from the Diva Talks from the movie came back and took her role back, and so then the Diva Talks in the series just discontinued to just only played Demetria, and that was it.
It's like
that's another plot hole.
What they sisters?
So they never explained that, and they were supposed to. So allegedly, the background is Diva Talks and Demetria are supposed to be sisters.
Yeah.
But they never. Again, Turbo has a lot of plot holes. That's the issue with Turbo.
He didn't explain what happened to Demetria.
Never explained what happened to Demetria. Never explained. The command center got destroyed, broken into, and then it was just where'd she go? Unless I missed it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kevin. It was rewatching this was.
She went to go help find Zordon or whatever. But nobody explained nothing later. Like in space, nobody asked where have they heard from Demetria. Or
they don't care. It's all about Zordon. We do not care about Demetria. They was like, we don't care about her. It's all about Zordon.
That sucks.
But yeah, I get Turbo has a lot of plot holes. I'm gonna say this. It was. Go ahead. Yeah, one more thing.
Yes. The Hitchman.
The Piranhatrons?
No. Elgar and
Elgar and the
they was like the weakest Hitchmans ever.
I agree.
Oh,
Elgar, Rygog, and Porto.
I felt bad for Diva Talks.
And then Diva Talks has a brother named General Havoc. Yeah, he was in it. I remember. Yeah, because they end up leaving the spaceship and going to this space-like place for briefly, and then so that's what General Havoc was.
Yeah, they was the weakest Hitchmans ever.
I agree with that statement. But yeah, I think, like I said, Turbo. Again, it was just a lot of plot holes. And I will say, like I said, as trying to watch the entire Turbo was really hard for me. I was soldiering on to finish watching Turbo. I will say this while you're looking that up. I remember, like I said again, I told you when it originally first came out, I stopped like towards the beginning of Turbo, and also just to kind of put some clarity on it, I was turning like 13. I was like 13, 14, or I was 12 turning 13 or 13 turning 14 when Turbo came out. So I was like I was in preteens, teens. I wasn't really feeling Power Rangers like that then. So I was kind of growing out of it, but it's not like how it is now. Like as adults, of course, we enjoy Power Rangers because it's a part of our childhood and we can really just reminisce about it.
Yeah.
But it's cool to be an adult and like Power Rangers. Back then, it wasn't. It's like it's time for you to grow up out of that. That's how it kind of was back then. Well, in my neck of the woods, it was not cool to watch Power Rangers.
Yeah, I watched Power Rangers all the way up until Overdrive.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you had people that supported your Power Rangers love. That wasn't here. That wasn't it over here.
I ain't care. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to watch.
We weren't doing Power Rangers over here. That was no, you gotta. That's it for you. In that, like I said, in that context, I wasn't really watching Power Rangers then. But again, I had to rewatching it. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little struggle to get through. It was a little struggle to get, especially when they switched when they switched teams. When they switched Rangers, I feel like it was really a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, when you're younger, you're not thinking about it like that, but after when you older and you rewatch it, then you see a lot of messed up things, especially with you being a film and all that. So you see a lot of things that people don't see.
I think I will say, like I say, I do think, again, behind the scenes, I think it was really messed up and very disrespectful how the actors found out that they were being replaced. I wonder how the new actors felt, because again, I can see the conflict, because you're happy that you got a job, because of course that's what you want to be. You want to be an actor, so you got a job. But at the same time, it's like how it came about to you. It wasn't right. I mean, honestly, it just wasn't. It's not their fault, obviously. But it's like, dang, I'm really replaced.
You coming in a hostile.
You're coming in a bad situation. It's a bad situation. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
I'm pretty sure
from the outside looking in, it's a bad situation.
I'm pretty sure the actors who got replaced, they had some friends in the production part of it, and some people probably felt a certain type of way.
I'm sure. Yeah, but
you know how.
That's Hollywood for you. That's Hollywood for you. So we have a new rating system that I would like to introduce. I want to give a shout out to my guys. What we talking about this time? That's a podcast that I listen to. Shout out to my guys, Jason, Josh, and Marcus. So they have a rating system that they do when they rate movies. So I kind of adapted that into with Ranger Ravers. So I want to introduce our new rating system. So we're not going to do the star system like we did last time. We're going to do a new rating system. So our new rating system is here. So the worst being Repulsa, I have a headache.
Oh, I have such a headache.
Bad is Alpha, ay.
Ay, 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 ay.
All right is Kimberly's Nice Stereo.
Nice stereo.
Good is More Phenomenal.
System's nominal.
And then the best, because apparently this is the best Power Ranger of all time, is Go Green Ranger Go Go. So that's the best.
Go Green Ranger Go Go.
Because people love the Green Ranger. Personally, I like the White Ranger, but that's another conversation for another time. But people love the Green Ranger, so we're gonna
Tiger.
Yeah, White Tiger was bomb. So we're gonna go with the Green Ranger. We're gonna go with Jaguar. That's gonna be best. So out of these 5 choices, Kevin, what do you rate Power Rangers Turbo?
I am between Alpha's ay,
Ay, ay, ay, ay.
and Kimberly's Nice Stereo.
Nice stereo.
Okay. Very good. Why do you have a particular reason?
Too many plot holes, but they still had a few good things.
Oh, we didn't talk about what we like. We both like the theme song.
Yeah.
Power Rangers Turbo has a bomb theme song. The theme song is amazing. Yeah. Shift into turbo. It went hard. Mighty engines roar, turbo time. Go the Power in the turbo. Yeah, that theme song went hard. Yeah, definitely went hard. Okay, so my rating for Power Rangers Turbo is, I'm just gonna stick to one. I don't have an in between. It is is Alpha. Ay. I gotta give Turbo an Alpha. Ay. Sorry, it's just the plot holes to me. There was too many plot holes in the series. It was not enough explanation between the explanation between the transfer wasn't complete for me. The explanation with the Phantom Ranger wasn't there. The explanation between why Demetria went from asking questions to just talking normal wasn't there. Again, the storyline between Demetria and Divatox being sisters weren't there. Ultimately, the ultimate disrespect of the actors behind the scenes.
The hip Alpha 6.
The Alpha 6 definitely was no. Again, the disrespect between the actors behind the scenes, I thought that's disrespectful. I didn't like that story. I think that's horrible to do. And yeah, I just feel like Turbo just wasn't all the way there for me. So yeah. And we didn't really talk about the suits. Did you like the suits?
It was all right. I didn't really care for Elvis.
Yeah. I thought the suits were just. Kevin gonna not like me for saying this, but they were better than Space. They were better than Space. Them spaces were horrible. But I'd rather wear the turbo than the Space. I hate the Space suit. Nah, you're not being realistic. I know you know how to pull up these suits and put them in my face.
I haven't seen the suits in years.
I
know it wasn't horrible.
They weren't horrible, but like I said,
like I said last time, the most horrible Power Ranger suit was over.
Okay. The suits weren't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
The suits weren't bad. You sitting there telling me that Space were better than that?
Gotta give you that.
Yeah.
I still didn't care for the helmets.
Okay, well I'll give you that. But they, like I said, them suits are definitely better than Space. Yes, 1000%. Okay, so so we would love to hear from you guys about what you think about Turbo. What's your thoughts? You think we're wrong? You disagree? We could definitely have a polite, respectful conversation about that. You know
what? If you don't have a polite, full conversation, it doesn't matter what you think.
We want people to like this, Kevin. That's the whole point. We want people to like and subscribe, not push them away.
I had to throw the rock.
Oh gosh, here we go. All right, so but we definitely appreciate it. Definitely thank you for joining us on Ranger Ravers. And again, let us know what you want to talk about. We'll probably go. We're working kind of backwards. Yeah. So we'll probably just go to Zeo next.
Oh, we can skip Zeo.
We're not skipping Zeo. Yes. We are not skipping Zeo.
Ain't nothing good to say about us.
Wow. Okay, so on that note, we appreciate you for watching and listening. And this is Ranger Ravers. We'll see y'all next time. Peace. Sheesh.